Yo, what's going on? How is everybody doing today? It is Mark Henriksen here, and this is the Risen Fallen podcast. If you're brand new to this show, then what you can expect is open and authentic conversations about things like mental health, self-development, and how to get your life moving in the right direction. If you're not feeling good about where you are right now, at least having the confidence knowing that you are moving one step closer to where you want to be every single day. Like I said, it's not going to be actually, that is a beautiful kind of thing in and of itself, just getting that 1% better every single day. And I know I say that every single intro, and I mean it, because that truly is what I believe, gets us places where we want to be in life. And so that's a beautiful thing because, yeah, like I said, consistency, just that 1% every single day. But nonetheless, it is August 18th. How is everybody doing today? We are just chugging along. It has been a busy summer for me. It usually is, but it has been again this year as well. Just, like I said, a busy summer, just doing a lot of work, a couple side jobs here and there, filling up my weekends with tasks and chores and little side jobs. I'm rebuilding my deck. I'm doing a bunch of little things, hanging shelves on the weekends. Just enough things to keep me busy, but not enough things. I don't know. Yeah, just a busy. It's been a busy summer, and it's been a weird summer too, as well. Like I know August has been a weird month this month. We've had like 28, 30 degree weather some days, and then there was like torrential downpour for a couple days there. It's been very, very, just super dry, super wet, super dry, super wet. And it's kind of like August is, it was kind of like this, I think, last year as well. It typically is, where it's just like kind of in between month of fluctuating between summer and fall. There's certain days where it's like I said, 32 degrees outside and you're just sweating your balls off. And then the next day it's like 19 degrees and it's, you've got like 7 inches of rain or whatever. Like, it's just nuts. It's absolutely bonkers. And it's one of the least consistent months when it comes to weather, when it's just like back and forth. And, it's crazy. They just can't figure it out here. It is an interesting thing, though. It gives me little glimpses of fall, and I always, just no matter what season we're in, I just feel like that's my favorite season. I'm not sure why. I just, except winter sometimes, there is times in winter where I'm like, all right, it would be nice to have a little bit more warmth. It would be nice to have a bit of sun, but every month when it rolls around spring, I'm like, dude, this is wicked. The trees look good. Gardens are starting to look good. There's birds a chirping. We're getting a little bit of sun. It is the sun that I was hoping for during the winter time. And then summer gets here, and I'm like, yo, summer is legit. That is my favorite month, or favorite season. And then fall comes around. I'm like, yo, this is so sick. The leaves are starting to turn red. The scenery is starting to get beautiful, I love going for runs in the fall. That is one of my favorite things, is just going for runs in the fall. And then winter comes around, and I'm like, all right, yo, this snow is pretty. This, I do enjoy this kind of camaraderie in everybody wanting to just get inside and get indoors and get dry, get warm, it kind of it brings people closer together. And so during those times when I'm spending more time with family and I'm getting to relax a little bit and slow down a little bit around the holiday season, every single time I'm just like, yo, this is my favorite season. And it really does, I used to find the negative in all of these things, and now I just look at the positives just inherently. And that's not to be like a humble brag or anything like that, but it really does go to show, the state of mind that somebody's in. Because if you are somebody where, the type of people where just like no matter what situation they're in, they just find something to complain about. And they're just like consistently oh, it's too hot. Oh, it's too cold. Oh, it's too dry. It's too wet. Oh, it's too this. It's too that. And you're like, everyone else is just having a blast and is just like grateful to be here and grateful to exist, grateful to have life and, honor our creator or whatever it is. And it's just like, it just really does, and not to like kind of victim blame or whatever, but I do that often. And it's, and it's like one of those things where it's like, you really can tell, where somebody's at in life by just about what they talk about and how they talk about it. If they're just consistently finding things to complain about, or they're just consistently finding things to be grateful for and to be thankful for and to be like, wow, look at this positive thing. It's pretty dope that it's this sunny out. It's pretty dope that it's whatever. Um, yeah, fall's coming. Fall is a coming. It's coming right around the corner. And people hate that. They don't like it when you say that summer's coming to an end. But I love fall. I love going for runs in the fall, and I haven't been running a lot recently. I kind of fell off track. Well, I guess I just I've been getting some feedback, and the feedback is my lungs screaming at me when I go for runs. And so it's like, okay, it's time to kind of revisit this a little bit and start running a little bit more. So that was kind of my motivation today to come on here and what I actually wanted to chat about before I got distracted by the weather and consistency or whatever. But it's consistency. And so when it comes to running, I've found it is like many other things in life. And when I first started running, it was literally like I was like working in restaurants, smoking cigarettes, and then I decided one day I'm going to start running. I found Jocko Willink's YouTube, I think, or something Goggins on YouTube, and I was like, this is it. That guy's me. I'm that guy. And so I start running, and I get to maybe halfway down my block before I'm like literally gagging, like full on nausea, everything like that. And that's what gave me the motivation a couple years ago to just kind of start deciding like, okay, I'm going to do this every single day. And that was one of the things I found. Running was one of those like kind of, lessons. It was kind of like a proving ground for me. It was kind of like one of those things where I had to realize the idea of consistency over intensity, because I am somebody who, I'm that, I've got kind of a little bit of that type A personality where you're like, hey, dude, you got to stop and smell the roses sometimes. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to be the best at fucking smelling roses, dude. If there's a championship for this, I'm going to try and just go after it. Knowing that, like, dude, that's just the way I am. I'm kind of competitive, but also just like kind of, I'm one of those personalities where I'm like, if I'm going to do something, I want to get the most results possible from it. Otherwise, I feel like I'm wasting my time, and I don't want to feel like a putz that way, like just anyways. And so when it came to running, I just thought that I had to always just like have this intensity, and now I've kind of realized, I guess, a different approach. And my approach really is just that, like, hey, I want to get back into running. I want to get better at running. I'm just going to try and do it for, 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. Even though before I was doing 45, 50, 20, like, hour 20 runs every single morning, it's like that's not where I'm at right now. And you could, like, for sure, I could push myself to do that. I know I could. But it's like, there's this kind of like idea, and it's kind of a cliche saying or a cliche analogy, or what's the word for this? But it's basically like, people always say like, you're going to get better results if you work out for 20 minutes a day for, in a month or whatever. Say like you work out 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes a day over a month, that's 600 minutes, right? And then you divide that. So say you work out, that's 600 minutes. But you're doing it 20 minutes a day every single day, right? Over the month, that's like 10 hours, right? 600 minutes is 10 hours or something like that. And it's, if somebody like me who has this kind of like, I want to do it with intensity kind of vibe, you might get the feeling or this idea like, hey, wait, so you're saying 20 minutes a day? If I just do 20 minutes a day for a whole month, then I'll get the results. So my brain instantly goes to, well, 20 minutes a day, that's 10 hours a month or whatever. What if I just do the 10 hours a day? how many results could I get then? And, obviously, if you could maintain that, fuck, I'm sure you get crazy results. Scientists will be like, oh, you're overtraining, oh, you're doing this. But I guarantee you, I guess the point I'm trying to say is like, you could spend that time doing that and neglecting all these other aspects of your life. Or you could have this like kind of all or nothing attitude of like, oh, if I can't do it super intense, then I'm not going to do it at all. Or the alternative is to have, a little bit of consistency. And when I say a little bit of consistency, I mean consistently doing a little bit every single day. Because so many people, they have this idea of like, oh, I want to be a reader. I want to read more. Oh, I want to be athletic. I want to be, I want to work out more. I want to do this. I want to do that. And they think to themselves, why don't I do this? Well, why don't I train jujitsu? Why don't I do this? Why don't I do that? And they're like, well, if I can't make it every single day, then I can't do it. If I can't do it for 3 hours a day, then I just can't do it. Or if I can't run, an ultra marathon, why am I calling myself a runner? And I think this idea of a little bit of consistency is just being consistent with a little bit. You want to be a runner and you're not a runner, you can't really hold yourself accountable to being like, oh, I'm going to run an hour and a half every single day. Like, it's just like, dude, how about you just try and do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes? Do 20 minutes every single day and see how far that gets you. And it's the same thing as like anything else in life. You don't have to be like the Olympic level of everything. In fact, you can't. You can't do everything really well. You can really only do like one or two things in your life really well. So you have to be okay with either doing one or two things or doing like one or two things really well and then enjoying being a student at other things. Being like, dude, it's okay that I fucking suck at this thing. It's not the thing that I do all the time. I can still enjoy it, and hypothetically stop and smell the roses, like that's, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's just like, dude, you don't have to be the best possible runner. You don't have to be, just consistent with it. Or don't do it, but be okay with not doing it then. Because there's a lot of things in my life where I'm like, wow, I wish I did this more. And if you have that inner voice consistently telling you, hey, you wish you did this more. Hey, I wish I did this more. I wish I was reading more. I wish I was journaling more. I wish I was more honest. I wish I was harder working. I wish I was, I wish I didn't lie about that. I wish I didn't fucking, have all the, if you have those thoughts consistently in the back of your head, I'm not just saying like once or twice so you impulsively go out and do, I'm just saying like if you consistently have in the back of your head, hey, I should do this more. Chances are you should do that more. That there's something behind that. There is something there, probably telling you like that's your inner consciousness or your I don't know. But I all the time, I have to remind myself, even though I do read often, I always tell myself I should read more. And so, like, it's like, dude, just do it on a daily basis, whether it's 1 page, 2 page, 1 chapter. I'm never going to be the type of guy that crushes a whole book in a day. I just can't sit still that long enough, But I do like reading. I do enjoy reading. I like the feeling it gives me. I like that kind of, it makes me honestly feel proud when I'm just able to sit down and do something that it doesn't come naturally to me, and I've found ways to enjoy it. That it's like, dude, if you can just do something small consistently, you're going to get a lot more results than just like going balls to the wall, all in on it, and then just being like, fuck, I don't want to do that again. And I feel like that's something that, that overload of, it's kind of a weird aspect of it because I think that kind of overload of, consistently chasing that, like, oh, I have to be the best at this. I have to get the most amount of results from this. I have to get the, it's given us a weird, that phenomenon itself has given us a weird interface with the world especially with social media, because there is so much to compare ourselves to. Like, dude, half my algorithm is just like crazy shit happening in sports, or and half the time I just open it up and there's like, oh, there's just a guy casually running 55 kilometers or something like that. And it's just like, dude, what? What? That's crazy, dude. I can't believe so many, and everybody is capable of doing that, but there is just something behind it where it's like, wow, you ran for 5.5 hours straight. And dude, like I've had people on this podcast that do insane amounts of running or insane amounts of, physical feats, but it's just, it is a weird, I do prefer it though. I do like having the highlight reel. I think the highlight reel of social media, people dog social media as well. That's the funny thing about social media is a lot of people say like one of the worst things about social media, and I've even talked about this before in the past, when they talk about the worst thing about social media is highlight reel. That it's always people being like, oh, look at this, look at that. And it creates this false illusion of like, every day's a good day. They have no ugly friends. They just have fucking sick cars, sick boats. They spend all their time having fun and never having to do hard work. And when they do have to do hard work, they're the best at that too. And there's just kind of like this, people talk about like the most dangerous aspect of social media is this kind of highlight reel hierarchy. And honestly, I prefer that. I think that that's a better motivating factor for most people rather than the hierarchy of victimhood that I believe honestly has overtaken social media nowadays, where basically like the we're so we're so inundated with people, what infuriates them and what makes them sad, or how they're, downtrodden and how they have an unfair crack at life. And, social media with news, with podcasts, it's just endless opinions. And it leaves us to believe like, oh, maybe my struggles aren't worth talking about. And that makes us almost feel like, okay, well, I could turn on the news and see like 100,000 people, suffering way more than me. And so maybe I just feel bad and I'm just like, feel sad. And, it almost puts us in this kind of resentful, we lose empathy and sympathy. You hear about, oh, some guy got T-boned and he's in the hospital for a week. And you're just like, yeah, whatever. Dude, I had, a stock crash earlier today and I lost $75. And your buddy's like, dude, I just told you about some guy who's hospitalized for a week. And that's what it's like this weird victimhood, where it becomes you're actually almost like, it's like predatorial, like you're like extracting, not pity, but attention. And just like, this like, I deserve to be listened to and I deserve to be cared about and I deserve to be this. I deserve, and it almost bit like, everyone's competing for who has it worst instead of like how we can improve our lives. Everyone's kind of like this, it makes being productive, it makes improving your life like, and having some sort of consistency in your life harder, because we're just like consistently reacting instead of like, taking action and building something. We're consistently ingesting all this information and all these opinions, all these things, and we're never able to actually sit quietly and listen to our own thoughts, the same thoughts I was talking about earlier that are in the back of your mind. And that's ultimately what we use social media for. At least I can admit that I've used social media for in the past. When I'm just sitting there doom scrolling, it's like, usually I, have a message to reply to. Usually I have a note in my phone or a reminder in my phone on a to-do list or something like that. And then I'm like, oh, I have to do that thing. I have to send this email. I have to reply to this person. I have to send this invoice. I have to do this estimate. I have to go to this place. And I'm like, I just need 5 minutes, dude. I just need to unwind. And then 75 minutes later, it's like, oh, I've just watched, knockouts from the UFC. I've watched cats get stuck in trees. I've watched people get injured in sports. I've seen like, a couple cool trucks. I've seen some, whatever my algorithm flavor is that day. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that idea of like digital overload, victimhood is worth talking about almost pretty much every single episode because I am very anti social media. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. This was kind of an episode where I just ramble and ramble and ramble, but we're just fine with it. So let me know what you guys think. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a little comment. If you're, I guess on Spotify, I think you can leave comments. On Apple Podcasts, I'm not sure if you can because I don't use it, but wherever you're at, give me some feedback. Leave a little rating, like a 5-star rating. Leave a little review. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you're doing. On that note, I'll see you guys next Monday. Much love. Peace out. Love you all. Bye.